I stare at the rows of books. They are old and dusty. I open one and see that the pages are flimsy. The text, Hebrew. There are different fonts and sizes. I stare at the books, but they have no meaning to me. What possible value can these old books have for a modern kid like me? I am tech-savvy, engaged in the world, a child of the 21st century. But these books are important. They are our heritage, my father explains. He looks at me with that fatherly look and says, I think I need to share with you a family story. 20 years ago, my grandfather, your great-grandfather, died. He and my grandmother left Germany for South Africa. The rest of the family remained and were lost. After he died, my father and I were cleaning his bookshelf. Do you want these? They are an old set of Machzorim with Hebrew and a German translation. No, I said. What need do I have for them? So we boxed them and prepared them for burial at the Hebra. That night, my father and I found a tape of an interview for a roots project that my sister, your aunt, had conducted with my grandfather. In it, she asked him, what is your most prized possession? My grandfather said, a set of Machzorim given to me by my father before we left Germany. It is the only thing I have from him. Quick, I said to my father, where are those books? We found them and have placed them in a special place of honor. Now, Ori, do you see, without knowledge, we would have lost a family heirloom. I love this story, as this is the story of my generation. We do have the books on the shelf, but we are clueless of their value. We lack the basic skills to even read them, and the deeper knowledge to unlock them. How are we to appreciate the gifts that we hold, if not for studying and sharing experiences? How are we to appreciate what we have if we are illiterate? How are we to grow as a Jew if we don't know? I love music, and when I think about Judaism, I experience a symphony. Each part of the religious experience allows me to deepen my connection and grow my love for the religion, in the same way as a symphony needs a score to play, and the musicians to interpret and present the music. So too, in our religion, we have a score in the Torah, and we are all musicians. True, some of us play more the music than others, but each one who engages in Jewish experiences deepens their love for Judaism. When one attends a symphony, there are two groups, the orchestra and the audience. There's a difference between being the observer versus being the participant. The musician's experience is so much deeper, colored, and nuanced. All the efforts and years of study allow them to experience a symphony from a different place. They appreciate the tones and hues of the music. They appreciate the effort put into playing the pieces. They are able to appreciate at a far deeper level what we are doing not only by doing, but by knowing why we are doing it. So too in Judaism, as we grow, our experience and knowledge grows with us. We are able to draw deeper and more meaningful insights from what we do. Shabbat is not just a day of rest. Kosher food is not only something we eat. Shema is not only a prayer we recite twice daily. Standing at the kotel is not standing at a wall, but it is the actualization and fulfillment of the dreams and prayers of millions of Jews who prayed for the day that they might merit to stand at the kotel. It is only through knowledge that we start to deepen our love for Judaism. However, we need to practice and work at it. The hours of prayer, practice, and study slowly molds and transforms us. But what happens when one does not practice? We forget. Instead of progressing, there is a slow regression. When we are disconnected from our heritage, it would seem to have no impact. It is as if we have cut the flower from the bush. We placed it in water, and we enjoy the fragrance and color. But slowly the color fades, and the petals fall, and the potential for bearing fruit is lost. When we are cut from our roots, we can survive, but in time we are lost. Even such basic Jewish knowledge as the prayer Shema Yisrael can be lost to a Jew who is disconnected and unattached. Jewish knowledge is not merely about preserving, but about building upon the legacy of the past, to stand on the shoulders of giants. But these are all closed books to us. The greatest minds and greatest works of theology, philosophy, halakha, and commentary are sealed and left to collect dust, if not for the skills of literacy in Jewish books. There is a powerful midrash about the father of the Jewish people, Avraham. The verse states, Avraham zeken bai bayamim. Avraham was old and came with his days. The midrash asks, what is meant that Avraham came with his days? Says the midrash that Avraham was able to account for each day of his life, that there was not one day that he failed to learn and grow as a person. The more we learn from our ancestors, the more we grow as people. Without knowledge, how can we even observe the basics of Judaism? How can we know what to do or not to do? How can we remain connected? Judaism is a unique religion. It is not only about shul and rituals, but a way of life. A Jew is immersed in his Judaism from when he wakes up until he goes to bed. It is a legacy and a heritage that is over 3,300 years old. It is a heritage that has given rise to the greatest minds, the greatest innovations, and I am a proud member of a small people that has done more to mold the moral code of humanity than any other people. But all this I would not know unless I had literacy. Without the basic skills, how can I ever plug into the greatest heirloom that I have been blessed to receive? Onwards and upwards, learning is growing. Kamas Aleph A, Kamas Bet Ba.